Radio Shout It.
Okay, it's Atlanta's #1 hip-hop station, Hot 107.9 and home for the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. Of course, you know it's your folk, B-High. Radio Shouting. Stepping in the building, I got an A-Town legend in this thing. Pretty Ken, what's good with it, my dog?
Hey, man, what's happening, champ? Talk to me, baby.
Man, I'm over here feeling good, feeling great. And first off, I got to say appreciate you for coming through here and hollering out a play in this thing, man.
Hey, look, man, you know I done got old, boy. Bedtime about 9. So, you know I'm up.
Yes,
I stayed up for you, man.
Man, appreciate it. Now, I mean, Ken, we live right now. So, I mean, for those in the city of Atlanta that don't understand the Addict Crew or what you done brought to the city, can you run through a short list of things that you did so they can get a good understanding of who we got in the building tonight?
Well, I tell you what, when we first started, before the dungeon, it was me, CeeLo was a group.
Ooh.
Called Extra Large. And Dre and Big was a group called Two Shades Deep.
My God.
So this was Outkast before the dungeon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even then, my role in the crew has always been trying to get us a situation, trying to get us on, trying to put it on, trying to do this. I was just always amazed that more than anybody, CeeLo's talent.
Yeah.
Like when we were young, I just couldn't believe that somebody could rap that good. And I used to be like, man, there's somebody, they got to hear this boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was never, I used to rap, but I didn't really care about it like that. I was more interested. And it's funny, man, because I've always been excited about other people's talent. You know what I mean? Like crazy about it. You know what I mean? And Dre went to school, left. Him and Big met Rico, and so we ended up going to the dungeon.
Yeah.
So went through the dungeon for a while. Left the dungeon, started the Addict Crew.
Ooh.
Through that, I made a couple of moves for some cool people around the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
To get them in some cool positions. And once again, that's always been my thing. I think what makes me such a dope person is I've always been able to celebrate people.
Facts.
And you being the man doesn't make me not the man.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? So I've always been interested in when I see something great or I see something that's just special, I just feel like the world needs to see this.
Yeah.
And so my talents, and I was a producer. I used to produce. I was great at that. But it still didn't give me that feeling. You know what I mean? So I've always been chasing a feeling. And it's like, and it's funny because my dad the other day said something. He was just like, man, you always been so talented, man. You can just do whatever you want to, man. Whatever you touch, you put your mind to, but you just do it and you can run. I was like, yeah, but it ain't as cute as you think it is.
Ooh.
I'm like, because I'm like, being so talented and exceptional is actually the loneliest place in the world. And the most confusing place because you don't know what the hell you're supposed to be doing.
I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you seem like you got bipolar because you on something new every week. You know what I mean? But you honestly don't know what the hell you're supposed to be doing because you capable of doing so much.
Yes, sir.
That you drive yourself crazy.
What was the point that you realized that it was time for me as Ken to direct my talents to this one thing to get the party started in your industry career?
When I left, so the dungeon, I really enjoyed the dungeon. I really loved the talent, the inspiration. I really love Reek and his vision.
Yeah.
Reek was a visionary, no doubt about it. He's one of the best ever.
Yes, sir.
He's able to take something that seems so crazy and break it down and make it all make sense. And I've always admired that and thought he was the best to ever do that.
Yes, sir.
And it was like the dungeon was like school for me.
Yes, sir.
And I figured out while I was there, I was like, okay, we ain't really having a lot of fun over here. They more serious. It's the black power. There's black. I really wasn't into that then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still young and wild.
That's right.
I'm like, where the girls at? You know what I mean? Like, ain't no girl. Like, even when the girls over there, they talk a black man talk. I'm like, damn, this ain't really, it's cool, but shit, so missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had a full crew already that was all about the girls. And, you know, my little cousin Sean Paul had all the girls.
Come on now.
So everything about this crew was just girls. And I was just like, so one day I was sitting down, and as we put it all together, I was just like, you know what? We're going to be like the Black Animal House.
Ooh.
And everybody was like, man, what? I said, well, listen, give me 2 months. This is exactly what I told everybody that day. I said, give me 2 months, and we'll have everybody in this city talking about Attic Crew.
Ooh.
Man, what you mean? I say, we're going to take the football. At this time, the club warehouse was booming.
Yeah.
I said, we're going to take this football and go play football in the club. We got to the club, start tackling football. Like, you might see the ball. You might be sitting here and see the ball just go across the club. Somebody catch it, and you see a group of folk chasing them. And when I saw the girls playing, I said, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. Man, this is the day I knew. I came home, and we had this house, and Floaty was in the house. I walked in the door. It was no furniture now, just hardwood floors. And I'm like, I walk in, I see Floaty standing there with a bucket of water. And it's 2 girls, but they got coats on, but they got their arms, and they got coats on backwards.
Yeah.
I just stopped, and I'm like, I'm looking, I'm like, what the hell are they, what is going on? I don't know if you remember them commercials. They were like, Surge. And folks do so crazy. Floaty yells, Surge. He throws the bucket of water on the wood floor. The girls take off running and dive on the floor and slide into the wall. I looked, I say, we out of here. But I am not lying. I said, man, we out of here.
Now, when the Young Bloods came out there with that U-Way, man, talk to me about the success of that, man, and what that did for the Attic Crew as a whole.
So what happened was so this was the cool thing about the Attic. We started that. But before all of that, we started, like, we had all our partners down at Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
So people actually thought we went to Georgia Southern because we would literally jump in the car and just go.
Yeah.
So we would be at Georgia Southern, like, folks would be like, man, so we would be down there performing, and Sean Paul was doing this dance.
Uh-huh.
So we come back home, and probably about a week later, we get a call from down there from our partner, Pele. Pele used to have a radio station down there. And Pele says, hey, man, the cheerleaders and all these girls down here doing this dance, and they calling it the Sean Paul. I said, boy, you crazy. So, and it was to shake them off.
Oh!
Right? So we say, man, you got to be crazy. So now at this time, we were going around West Georgia, Georgia Southern, Georgia. So all the colleges, Fort Valley.
Yeah.
The girls, I just told the girls. So we would go to Fort Valley. We would go to West Georgia, stay the night on the AKA Hall. Like, it was really Animal House, right?
Yeah.
So we cut this song called Shake 'Em Off. And this is exactly how it went. We cut the song Shake 'Em Off. And KP, my partner, was working at LaFace at that time. Mm-hmm. So we met. I talked to him. I was like, dog, this is it. Just the song. It's out of here. Man, I don't know. I said, all right. Went home. I said, boy, we're going to let's show everybody. This is it. I called Ludacris and Poon Dad. Chris was on the radio.
Yep.
Poon, they had their show. They premiered the show on that night. Hyped it up for probably about 2 hours before they played it.
Ooh.
Man, they played that thing. It was over. It caught just like that. Now, if I was smart, I would have held out.
Damn.
Hey, if I was smart, I wasn't that smart. Yeah. So they called back LaFace. But come on, let's do this deal. My lawyer was like, man, no, hold on. Wait, this shit bubbling. It's about to go crazy. No, man, this is my partner, man. He gonna do right. We good. And did the deal.
Damn.
Did the deal. It wasn't even The sizzle wasn't even on there yet. It was like on the way. And I ain't know no better. That was my first deal, first situation. Then you got a bunch of guys like, hey man, what we gonna do?
Yeah.
So the unfortunate thing about me was I've never had the luxury of not having the answers. Even at a young age, I was expected to have the answers. Even when I didn't have the answers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was a situation I really couldn't control because I didn't even know how. And all I knew was, all they saw was an opportunity that I was going to blow. And so we just didn't know. So we would have waited, but we didn't know. So anyway, it worked out. We did the deal. The Young Bloods got crazy. It got hot. The UE came out. Oh, it was hot. I wanted it to be bigger. First of all, let me say, Sean Paul is the biggest star Atlanta has ever seen.
What?
No doubt about it, hands down. I don't care who, but line them up. I don't care who.
Yeah.
This is Pretty Ken saying it right now. To this day, I've never, ever been around somebody that just sucks that much energy out of a room. Like, the way dudes and women respond to this dude, it was amazing. It was amazing. And the cool part, this the part that drives me crazy. This the part that eat me up to the day. This the part I'm just finally getting some good sleep about.
He had to stretch out on that one.
People bank on you not knowing how powerful you are.
Come on now. Come on
You know
now.
what I mean? So that's people's comfort in realizing that you'll never figure out what you actually are. And that's what makes them comfortable in dealing with you. So at a point, now at first, everybody was shaking in their boots. Woo. But once they realized that Sean Paul was only going to go so far with it, everybody got comfortable. Like, okay, whew, we good.
Talk to me about that then. No, talk to me about what was your vision for Sean then, man? And then especially with that man being blood too on top of that.
Sean Paul was like, and J-Bo, it was just the perfect match. Let me tell you the first.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how, and this young and foolish PK, we get the call to go to meet L.A. Reid.
Mm-hmm.
He ready to do the deal. We get up there. First thing he say when we walk in is, he look at Sean Paul and say, hey, man, don't cut your hair.
Mm.
Then he says, well, we want to sign Sean Paul and J-Bo, we just figured that out. Now, there's all three of us sitting here, me, Sean Paul, and J-Bo.
Yeah.
KP, T-On with the T-Balls in L.A.
Yeah.
And I jump up, I say, hell no. No, man, we ain't doing that. Man, it's a group. These boys a group, man. Man, we ain't doing it like that. That ain't what we came for, man. We out. Boom. When I get to the door, grab that handle a little bit, them niggas still sitting down. Niggas! Hey, look,
Oh,
listen.
man.
I was committed, though.
Yeah.
I was committed. I was too far in. I couldn't turn back. I looked, I was like, niggas! Damn, I got to go with it. Boy, I jumped in that car. I was sick. I was like, damn, I think that was a bad move. But it would have been so much better if everybody walked out.
Exactly.
But I ain't know. I was the gift and the curse about me is I've always been more than willing to take whatever came with my decision.
Exactly.
So I never looked at it as an opportunity I was going to blow.
Yeah.
Because I knew no matter what, we going to get on.
Exactly.
They didn't look at it like that. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with them looking at it like that. Everything can't be my way.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But Sean Paul was it. We went out of town one time, just before it was big. Man, these girls started crying. And I'm sitting there like, man, hold up. You serious right now? And you know me, I'm sitting back because the whole time, you know, I'm always thinking about, well, how we gonna sell it, what we gonna do. Man, these some grown girls start crying. And I'm sitting there like, well, we out of here.
My God.
We out of here. But it ain't for everybody. And it's funny, me and Big Jimmy were just talking outside, and he was just saying, man, I can't believe some of these dudes got it and just don't want it or this and that. And I say, well, Jimmy, that's part of our job now is to understand and recognize that just because you have it don't mean that you want that level of it. You see what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
So we got to play in their playing field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We come in and we want to play up under the lights. Some of these dudes need to be playing at 8 o'clock when the grass wet.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
You know what I mean?
with you.
And as talented as they are,
Yeah.
that's what they talents is. You know what I mean? But us being who we are, boy, you can be the best. Boy, you can be this, you can be that. It ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah, that ain't what
Because they got to do the work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So even with my son, I had to get over that in baseball and football. It's just like, damn, I ain't got to go to practice. I ain't got to play in none of these games. I ain't got to go to the gym. I ain't got to do none of this. He got to do all this.
Yeah.
Hey, man, let me know what you want to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it went from that to, because I used to, well, you got to be this. You got to be a champ. But don't be playing with these folk. You got to give to these folk. And I just got to that point, man. When I think around 13 years old, I was just like, shut up. Just be a kid.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. Enjoy yourself, fool.
Yeah, because it's just like when you come from a place where you always, first of all, I dropped out of school in 9th grade.
Yeah.
So I've always had a chip on my shoulder that I felt like people thought they were smarter than me. Thought that they could do more than me, thought they could move better than me, all of this. So it was my insecurity that I used to push off on everybody else that you got to be great.
Yeah.
Now, it was a great chip for me, and it worked for me. But at the same time, I ran people off because I didn't know how to express and articulate what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was just doing it. So I didn't even know how to explain it. And once again, like I told you, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I figured out, like, damn, that really ain't for everybody.
Can you talk to me about that moment in time when you realized your power and your value in the game, and how long it took for you to realize who you were and what it was that you was bringing in now?
After everybody had got on.
Are you serious?
And I wasn't.
Oh!
I said, I ain't going to tell you no lie. He'll tell you. And I never say no name. But if you went through my phone right now to see who called for information every day, like different people that you think got it all together and know, you'll be like, man, hell no. But this is what I've been doing for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
It's like, and one day I was like, why in the hell do these dudes call me before they make moves, before they do certain things? Why do they call me for all this information and just ideas and this and that? I'm like, what in the hell? Why? And I realized then, I'm like, they know I got it. But they understand, and that's what I realized. The better you get, the less help you'll receive. So what people do is they help just enough not to help.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're talking about.
And the reason they do that is because for people to feel comfortable dealing with you, they have to see a space in your world, if that makes any sense. So if they don't see a need for them, then there's no importance in your world for them. Does that make any sense?
No, I'm with you.
So in my world, Pretty King seems as though he can do everything.
Yeah.
And figure everything out, which leaves no room for nobody else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's just like right now, you got old dudes telling young dudes, hey, shouter, boy, you mess with me, but I'll show you how to make it happen. I do this. Boy, you ain't even necessary no more. Ain't no more, hey, But I'm the connect to the radio. Or I'm this to this. But you don't need none of these folk no more. All you need to do is wake up and get on your computer.
Get on your grind and your computer. Yeah,
right.
That's real.
So now what's happening is the old dudes who never really were good at anything but connections and relationships are creating these fake needs for them with the young folk by saying, hey, we could do this, we could do that. But y'all don't even mean that no more. You feel me? Now, I didn't have the access, which is the internet and all that back then, but I had the attitude. So I've always had the attitude that, well, we gonna make this happen with or without you. Like,
that's right.
But you don't mean nothing to what we trying to do. And that came across as arrogant, and I was hard to work with. But it wasn't that I didn't want to work with you. I just needed to feel like you were necessary.
Yeah.
Because the people that could do what I couldn't do, I've always accepted and needed and appreciated. But if you come in and you're not even good as me at what I do, I just don't understand.
Come on now. Come on now.
But we can go get a drink. We can go kick it. We can go get a steak. But when it comes to this part, it's just like, what we doing?
When it came to you.
Did I answer your question?
You got a little bit in there, just understanding your value and stuff at that point that you realized that, you done helped out so many folks. Now, answer me this, off air, you were just talking about doing God's work and just putting folks in the game because you didn't have no real, pretentious. You weren't pretentious, or you just wasn't feeling no type of way about holding nobody back. You were trying to put folks in the game because of the love of people and just the love of the grind and what was going on. Can you talk to me about what you got out of that, though? And what was it that, like you said, after you put everybody on, did anybody reach back and keep it 1,000, or did they just get the hell on?
So here's the thing. In order for people to be who they always wanted to be, they have to first get rid of the people who know who they are. do you see what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
So you can't create this new guy if you still hanging with people around people who know who the guy is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you think about an artist, that's what an artist is. Like, that's just what an artist is, and I appreciate it, and I'm cool with it. Like I tell people all the time, stars are not meant to be held on to. You only have a chapter in a star's book. A star is supposed to leave you. If he's good, if he's great at what he does, or she does, she's not supposed to ride her whole career out with you. Right. Because she's going to get to a point where he feels like it was all them. They made it happen. And that's absolutely fine, because that's what they need to be who they are. And if you the shit at what you do, excuse my friends,
I'm with you.
If you the truth at what you do it over and over again.
That's right.
So there's no need for you to ride this wave all the way out. So the problem is, who's really that good? Yeah. So for me, since I was young, I've never had a problem or never felt uncomfortable around somebody who was the shit. I used to love to go out and see a dude who was cooler than me get all the girls.
Yeah.
Like, that boy smooth. That boy smooth. It didn't mean I wasn't going to get the girls.
Exactly.
It just meant the girls that want PK.
Come on.
I ain't got nothing to do with his girls.
Exactly. Now, Ken,
hey,
being the man that you is, working your move in the industry. First of all, watch your podcast, and I loved it.
Hey, I appreciate
Once again, so like when you say what you say about being able to see somebody else do something, to do the same damn thing and love it, your podcast, that one with Toon was out the damn chain.
I appreciate that.
One with Rico Wade was out the damn chain.
I appreciate that.
Talk to me about when you and Rico got in there after y'all hadn't spoken in so long, man, and y'all just had to hash it out on camera.
Man, that was it's funny, man, because that was something for me that had to happen.
Ooh.
I felt like it was a part of me still left in 1996 that, you know what I mean, that I needed to go back and get.
I feel you.
And I just felt like I couldn't, because I know he didn't know me. And we've never really talked. It's always been action and moving and grooving, and he don't know me. Like, even when people see this interview and hear this, I promise you, man, even people been around me for years, they don't know Ken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what happens is, at a young age, when you so caught up in trying to get these dreams and make these dreams happen, that's all you see. You're not caught up on, you're not even thinking about nothing else. Like I say, that's why on the interview I was saying, like, you're like a tornado. Mm-hmm. On your way to success or on your way to reaching your goals, you're like a tornado, and you never realize how much debris you're leaving behind. You know what I mean? So it's just like, the way we interacted over the years, it just got to a point for me where I was like, I got to have this conversation. Like, because people would see us and he would tell his side. I never had no problem to tell my side. And he's always been a super, super duper great guy.
Yeah.
Always been very cool, whatever you need from him. But I've always had a thing that I was just like, you knew I was the shit. You knew I was that guy. Like, what was your real issue with me? Because when I see that guy, I put him on. Period. Don't nobody, you can't even, listen, man, you cannot be around me and be that guy.
Yeah.
And I ain't trying to figure something. But I went to church. And the preacher with that guy, and I've been trying to put him on ever since. Like,
yes, sir.
This is my nature. This is who I am.
Exactly.
What made you not want to do that? And not saying that you even owe me that. But I was bitter. I'll never forget, we fell out. All this was going on, this was about 96. No, this was 99. We were at Kaya. I'll never forget this. And this is where my emotions got the best of me. We were all at Kaya, the whole addict, and Niles was DJing. Rico was there. Somebody else was there with Rick. It was a couple people with Rick. By this time, the addict, but we were like on our rampage. And they played People Don't Dance No More. And Rick got on stage and started shaking them off. Ooh. And when he did it, I was just offended for no reason, right? Because he was doing what we wanted people to do.
Exactly.
But I was just like, oh, nigga, don't be doing our shit now. So when he got off stage, he made me feel like an asshole because I was just like, that's fucked up, man. You don't tell nobody, you don't shout nobody out. You don't tell nobody where it come from. You don't do this, do that. He was just like, man, what the fuck you talking about, Ken? He like, that's what you want people to do. You did it so people can do the dance. What are you talking about? And I sat there like, damn.
Yeah.
I did. But he was like my big brother, and I wanted his acceptance.
Yeah.
So all I wanted all them years for him to just look at me and say, boy, you that motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's all I ever wanted.
Yeah. Because
he knew I was.
Yeah.
CeeLo, listen, man, they know who it is. They know who it is. So all I wanted was for him he avoided it though. He'll tell you, listen to the interview.
Yeah.
He purposely avoided all these years telling me, boy, you the shit. That's all I wanted to hear.
I mean, do you think it was a situation of just egos, and then, maybe if you would have got that touch, you might have went all the way up through there because sometimes, that's all it takes is for somebody of that stature to say, hey, man, and then you're like, you know what, fuck it, let me take over the world then.
Yeah, it was, because I knew it.
Yeah.
But it didn't mean nothing until he said it.
Yeah.
He still ain't never said it. Well, he did say it on the show eventually. But now I don't care. But it was just, at that time, it was just like, dog, you can't keep denying this. Like
Yeah.
you see this. Like and I'm doing it with you. I'm here. I ain't trying to outshine nobody or do that. Listen, man, in order to be a great leader, you got to be a great follower.
That's right.
So I told you in the interview when he said come home, I ain't even think about it. I jumped right on the plane. I never questioned him why. I never said nothing. I just left. Because this is what we doing.
Did you ask him why though?
Never. That was the first time we talked about it when you saw the interview.
But you still ain't asking why.
Never. Never. Now, if you listen to the interview, he said why. Which the time was off.
Yeah.
He said, because you had young bloods, you had this and that. I didn't.
Yeah.
There was nowhere around.
Answer me this. Why we never got a Dungeon Family Added Crew collaboration, man, that would have shook the whole nation down?
How you going to find a building big enough for all these egos? But Phyllis Arena can even hold all these egos. Like, you couldn't do that. I mean, it's great in theory. It sounds great. But the reality is, it's and it's funny, I tell Boy Jimmy this all the time. I say, man, have you ever noticed how niggas yell family first once they done fell off? You know what I mean? So it's just like, when it's on, man. When that popcorn going, boy, that mother popping.
Yeah.
And even in Atlanta, think about this. Everybody spent so much time fighting for position in Atlanta that we never had time to build our own company. Everybody in Atlanta had to go outside of Atlanta to get their money. It don't even make sense. Think about it.
Go deeper with that. Break down one all the way down.
So what I'm saying is, LA came in.
Come on with it.
Listen, man. And I say this with love. All the love in the world. Don't take this the wrong way. This is just, matter of fact, this is just how I saw it.
Yeah.
How about we'll go there?
Yeah.
My perspective. Dallas had a label before anybody.
Yeah.
Jermaine was popping already. Kevin Wells was popping already.
Yeah.
Rico and everybody was coming up. LA was just getting in town. Everything that popped was already there. LA came in, it's just my perspective.
Yeah.
LA came in and manipulated the situation that was already existing. And what he did was he kept everybody fighting against each other to win his approval and to win his love, which created competition amongst them all. So he was such a big brother and so good at what he did that they never realized it's y'all.
That go back to what we were saying earlier in the conversation, though. Nobody really knows their true value.
And he realized that early. So what he did was he created a situation where it was just everybody was fighting for position instead of realizing, like, hold up, this album number one, I got 3 songs on it. You got 3 songs on it. You got 2 songs. We can really do, like, what we doing for real.
Yeah.
So when he left, he left a bunch of very talented guys not understanding how to work together because they worked for him for so many years. And it seemed as though their success came from his understanding. But that wasn't really it. They had it already.
Had it.
So when he left, everybody felt like Daddy gone. What we supposed to do? You already got it. So at that point, I'm sitting there like, wow, this really just happened. So you got not the hottest producers in Atlanta, in the industry.
Yeah.
The industry still didn't come together and say, hey, man, what we did for him, let's create this company and do it for ourselves. I didn't say Pretty King had to be nowhere in that mix.
Yeah.
I'm just, my perspective.
Yeah.
It hadn't been done since then. So everybody in Atlanta to this day had to go outside of Atlanta to get their money. Nobody got their money from somebody in Atlanta or together. So everybody fought for position and wanted to be the man of Atlanta, that they left a gap wide open where the business is still not in Atlanta. So if we've been running the game for 20-some years, why are we still getting on the plane to go get a check? It don't make sense to me. That's just me.
But what is it that you think keeps us from coming together and really saying, all right, man, you got this, you got that, let's put it together, let's have something big, and let's do it for the long haul?
So this is going to be a couple of pieces to this.
Mm-hmm.
I was at church one Sunday, and my cool preacher said, the problem is, just because you can do something does not mean you're supposed to hold that position.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So the biggest problem with us is we want to do something that just ain't our thing to do. And it comes down to what moves you, right? What are you moved by? Me, fortunately and unfortunately, money has never, ever moved me. My drug of choice is the most difficult task. You see what I'm saying?
I'm with you on that.
Right.
I'm with you on that.
Right.
Oh my God, I feel you.
Right,
But see,
right.
no, kid, see, now I got to spin the conversation. So with that being said, do you find yourself always put yourself in these fucked up ass, hard ass situations trying to amount to some shit? Because you're like, I just like to do some difficult shit that niggas say I can't do it, that I don't think I can do, but I'm going to do the shit.
What they say, are you a glutton for punishment?
Yeah, exactly. You love that shit. You see what I'm saying?
But guess what the trick is?
Talk to me.
We're not wrong.
Okay.
We're doing it with the wrong people. And a task that's so difficult takes a totally different type of person and mindset. I told Tip, I say, listen, boy, you just as foolish as I am. You just as crazy. Your attitude, you popping, thank you it. You just like me.
Yeah.
The reason it worked for you is because you had a crew with you that never questioned that.
Ooh.
Never.
Ooh.
Not one time. They knew you were out your mind. But
they
knew you were good.
Come on now.
They never questioned the move. All they said was, we know he foolish. Let's just be there for him to make sure we fix whatever we got. That's
exactly.
it. Nobody tried to be Tip.
Yeah.
Nobody tried to be cooler than Tip.
Mm-hmm.
They all were there to support their partner.
My God.
That is why Tip was such a success. Now back to what we're talking about. That was his difficult task.
Yeah.
He had the support system that never questioned the difficult task.
Yeah.
Just like you said, the difficult tasks, let's bring media. We should have a breakfast club in Atlanta.
Facts.
Like everything going on, you should not have to leave Atlanta to
do
do
a damn
media.
thing.
It don't make sense.
Do a damn thing.
Anybody coming into the city, it should be a place where you got to check in and talk to and come see.
Facts.
There's no doubt about it. The reason it's not is because instead of making it happen, everybody's more concerned about who's going to make it happen. Right?
And it can't be you.
It's credit.
Yeah.
Everybody are credit whores. Right? And it goes back to confidence.
Yeah.
think about this. The reason white people own our culture is because they never wanted to be as cool as you.
Ooh.
They wanted to get paid off how cool you were.
Exactly.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Think about this. And this goes to everything we were just talking about. Sunday night football game on that field. The most important person in that organization at that moment during those 4 quarters is not the quarterback, is not the coach on the side. The most important person is the coach in the booth because he got the vision.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's able to send the pitches down, holler down and let them know, hey, man, they blitzing from the right.
Yeah.
That's why they keep getting through.
Yeah.
Right? If he was on the field, he couldn't see it. He couldn't do that. So the guy with the vision doesn't come trying to play the position. He has the vision. So now it's time to get the people that can play the position. The problem with these niggas, they want to take a snap, throw the ball, get on the goddamn elevator, go up to the booth, look down and see what happens.
If he look down on these niggas,
then go back. You see what I'm saying?
Why do all of these niggas have to play God?
Guess what?
Talk
I
to
just
me.
told you what LA did. So now their confidence comes from being important.
Yeah.
Importance has made them feel like somebody.
Yeah.
So now think about this. You got 3 types of confidence, and I just happen to have the most offensive type. You got one. You got the confidence that people gain from things.
Mm-hmm.
Things can be taken.
That's right.
Therefore, confidence can be taken.
That's right.
You got the ability. Football player break his leg, no longer has the ability to play football. Confidence is gone.
That's right.
Then you have the guy, which me. My confidence comes from who I am.
Mm-hmm.
That can only be taken with death.
Facts.
So there's absolutely nothing outside of me that has anything to do with how I feel about me, which is offensive to people in the room. Yeah. Because the room, think about this, when the bad woman walk in the room, the first thing women do is try to find out what's wrong with her so they can feel comfortable in the room with her. Mm-hmm. That's just honest, right? You think a dude any different? So if this dude got way more money, way more whatever he think, and you still equal in the room with him, that's a little offensive.
So, okay.
All right.
Well, no, because see, I'm going to need you to coach me then, Ken, because see, that goes back to my principle of my platform. I say, I don't give a damn who you are. We are all men under God, and we're going to come in here and we're going to have a conversation. I don't care who you are. You're going to get the same conversation out of me.
So this is why.
But niggas getting offended by that?
So this is why you don't have the media outlet that you were talking about, Bill. This is why I'm here telling these stories with you. It's offensive.
So you mean to tell me I've been offending these niggas by treating everybody with respect?
And it has nothing to do with you.
Shit.
People treat you the way they feel about themselves.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I only get along with stars. I only get along with super confident people. Insecure people, we gonna fall out.
Yeah.
And they ain't got nothing to do with it. Because what happens is, first thing a dude feel like is, why in the hell this boy feel the way he feel and don't have half of what I have? Because he's gained his confidence off being the man in the room at all times. But I don't need nothing out that room. So when I walk in the room, I'm me.
Yeah.
I ain't finna tone down. I ain't finna not say what I want to say. I ain't finna tell you, boy, that shit ain't nothing. That boy, you ain't talking about nothing. But I'm not gonna go with no foolish story.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do none of that. So yes, it's very offensive. And yes, I could turn down and lay back. That's not who I am. I don't even do that at my mama's house. Like,
come on now.
This is our family. This is what we do. Ain't no feelings in it. Ain't no, like, we thinking everybody the same. Like, hey, you say something about me, I say something about you. Like, so it's like, so what I've done over the last year or two since I realized this is, I deal with people who can take me.
Yeah.
On business. And I go aggravate the shit out of everybody else.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you're talking about.
But I do it, and this is why. Listen, I know they're gonna see this, but I'm gonna say this. So people used to say, "Man, why?" Even my boy used to say, "Jimmy, man, why Pretty go in the room with that act like that? He loud, he talking crazy." So what I used to do is, and he'll tell you, I'm all about strategy. Mm-hmm. I've never went into a room and not gotten the feeling or the energy I wanted in that room.
Yeah.
So if I hear Beehive been talking crazy about me,
yeah,
I know 9 times out of 10, the same niggas he was talking crazy about me in front of are there now.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna go in here and go
up.
extra hard.
And crank that bitch up.
So everybody who around him, who he was talking crazy about me to, can see how much of a sucker he is, because he ain't gonna say nothing while I'm there. And when he don't realize what I just did, I just took the glow from him. So now they gonna continue to deal with him, but they always gonna look at him like, boy, you ain't do all that with Pretty with him.
Saying all that shit in that man's face. No, I'm with you.
But it's a real strategy, and it's funny. This is what I learned, and I know I'm giving all my game away, but I'm a different.
But that's natural too. A lot of that stuff is natural.
Yeah.
You put it in black and white for me because a lot of this stuff you said I done pulled on niggas, and I didn't know why I was compelled to do it. But now I understand.
So the funny part is, people think the quiet. People say little sayings like, "The quiet guy in the room is always listening." The quiet guy. So people don't be themselves in front of the quiet guy because they feel like he's paying attention.
Yeah.
But the loud guy, they let loose. So nobody think you can come in the room, be loud, talk junk, be crazy, and pay attention to what they doing and how they respond. So human behavior has always been my thing. I've figured that out at an early age. Once again, I didn't know that's what I was doing. Yeah. But no matter what, I don't give a damn. In the first few minutes of us having any type of engagement, I could pretty much boy, I tell you, I can tell you right there what's finna happen, where this is going. Right. Just by because there's a certain couple of words that you always gonna use to tell me exactly who you are and what this is about.
Exactly.
My boy would be like, "Boy, you'll cut a nigga off so quick, boy, you be tripping." Then a few weeks later he'll call me back and be like, "Yeah, boy, you right, boy, that nigga done tripping." So what happened was, and the reason I have that and always had, dropping out of school in 9th grade, being on the road, doing all this old crazy stuff, always being around older people, older men, people that felt like they were sharper than me, smarter than me, I had to develop a skill to get me ahead of the conversation and to keep me in the loop so folk wouldn't be talking on my head. So I discovered words and the positioning of words, the usage of words at a certain time to provoke certain feelings. So in the first few minutes of our conversation, by you using certain words, I can already tell you where we're going with this and what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? So I can beat you to the end, and now I'm ready to deal.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So even with and not to get off of it, but if I was to break down the Gail interview with Lisa, you would look at it a totally different way.
Yeah.
If I actually showed you exactly what she was doing, because what she was doing was actually a skill. Yeah. It's a taught thing.
Pro.
And and people don't realize what actually was happening.
Yeah.
But that's something I've been aware of since a very young age. So it's offensive. And when you don't need people, that need to be needed, let's say that.
Come on now.
You come off very offensive and arrogant, but it's not that it's they need an excuse to feel a certain type of way about you. So everything comes back to how people feel about themselves.
Yeah.
That is how they deal with you. So think about this. If you go on the internet right now, out of 100 women, talking crazy about men and just talking reckless, men ain't this, men ain't that, this, you probably not gonna find any bad girls on there. you know why? Because they don't have time for that. They're being bad somewhere.
Exactly.
They're somewhere having their way. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is all of it works the same, because when you're not concerned about the opportunity and you're cool with being you because you understand you are the opportunity, you're able to act and be exactly who you are at all times, which becomes offensive to somebody that needs you to feel a certain way for them to feel important.
And see, that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? Now, Ken, one of the things I got to ask you about, with Sean Paul being your family and then having the Pimp. See, was you a UGK fan before the Pimp got pissed with Sean Paul or what?
Man, are you crazy? We were at his house 2 days before that happened.
What?
He was just at, man, listen, man, God bless his soul. We were at his house in Lithia Springs, out in Austell.
Yeah.
And he was telling Sean Paul how dope he was. Boy, I love your voice. It come through the tweeters. And Sean Paul loved him. Sean Paul had a white Cadillac. And that's all he bumped was UGK.
Oh.
So, yeah, man, we've been bumping Pimp since Pocket Full of Stones. Like, literally. So for me, it was just like, I didn't understand it. First of all, I thought it was fake.
Yeah.
Because we just left from over there. And I was coming down 20, me, Sean Paul, Playboy Trey, and somebody else was in the car. And them two ways just started going off. Start blowing my two-way up, phone. Like, boy, Pimp down here said he gonna cut Sean Paul hair off and fucking with a broomstick and like just crazy. And I'm sitting here like, and I'm trying to have the conversation, but I'm trying to be quiet because Sean Paul's sitting in the back. And so I pull up to the house and I'm like, hey, all right, I'll be back.
Yeah.
And Sean Paul like, no. He like, no, cuz that's my name.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. So we coming back up 20. We pull up at the club where he was. And we knew something wasn't right. We knew everybody knew it wasn't right because when we pulled up, it was just me and Sean Paul. Soon we got to the door, the security just moved to the side. Everybody had this look on their face. You know what I mean? That was just, it was weird. Soon we walked through, Street was sitting in the ticket booth, and he had this look on his face, and I just pointed at him. I like, I know that's you. You know what I mean? So we go in looking for them. And of course we hot. And now it ain't even about no rap stuff. You got to think, this my little cousin.
Yeah.
So this what I've been him since, boy, he was little. Since I ride out to Decatur if it's an issue like me and CeeLo used to. If somebody called about messing with Sean Paul, we don't. Listen, man. We went, look how crazy this is. True story. Somebody was out there messing with Sean Paul, talking crazy. I think it was me and CeeLo, we rode the school bus to Redan. We rode the school bus to Redan to see about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this wasn't no rap shit or we tough, we rough. No, this little cuz, and nigga really talking some real shit about little cuz. So we get in there, see, this was before everybody kind of blew. Where they at? And we're walking around and I'm like, where he at? Where is he? We looking for him. And they like, he gone. I'm like, he gone? I said, man, y'all don't let somebody come in here talk crazy about cuz and I sit it and y'all let him leave? I said, man, at least y'all could have been like, hey, man, hold on, man. Y'all hold up, man. Y'all leave got to squash this tonight. Y'all got to talk like something got to happen tonight.
Yeah.
And when I got there, he was gone. I was just so disappointed. Like, damn, y'all let the nigga leave. And Sean Paul grabbed the mic and start doing this, talking this shit and doing this thing. But even then, it wasn't even disrespectful now I think about it. Sean Paul was more confused. He was just like, nigga. I was just like, what's going on? Like, he didn't get it. And Street came back in there, whatever. And so all of a sudden, everybody started calling me after that. And I'm like, hey, man, Street was the one ribbing that shit up. And I was just like, I know it. I know him, so I knew it. If being, and this is my thing about that situation with Street. At that point, when that happened, you should have been the first to say, hey, man, no, dog, we all good, man. Ain't nobody, like, dog, we ain't got to be like that. We ain't got to do like that. But it was cute then, but then the next couple of days when it started really being some, now you want to come put the fire out that you let start. So I've always felt the type of way about him with that. And I've seen him do it a couple of times. But so everybody started calling. We actually got a chance to talk to his mom, Bun, of course, and he was just really going through some stuff. You know what I mean? And even after that, man, it was just like, this was the funny part. This funny. This was probably about 2 years later. I'm coming from a Christmas party. Now, we never talked about this. Never. I'm coming from a Christmas party. I got a suit on. And I just hear on the radio, UGK at the Kaya. I said, boy, hell no. I whip up in the Kaya parking lot with my girl. I said, hey, wait right here. Get out the car. Man, I'm solo, by myself. I don't even know what I'm about to do. But we've been had a conversation. Yeah. You know what I mean? I get to the back door and they actually going in. And I see Bun. Bun like, hey, pretty, what's up? Come on in. Come on in. And I get to the door. We hug. And Bun, he's very political. Like, he's a political guy, so he know how to keep it moving. So he keeps it moving. So now at this point, I'm like, I got had a conversation. Like, we got to straighten this shit tonight. Yeah. I'm solo. Then I hear somebody say, hey, nigga, what's up? I look, it's Bone Crusher. I'm like, yeah. I didn't even say nothing.
Yeah.
Bone already knew.
Yeah.
Bone was like, let's go. And so I'm like, oh, shit, let's do it. And so at this time, this chick used to work there that we all cool with. And they were in the back room. And he was in the back room. It was about 15 dudes back there. And this is just how God worked. She wouldn't let us back there. She was like, no, Ken, no, y'all not going back there. No, I'm not letting y'all back there. I'm like, man, stop tripping. Just let her go back there and holler and see what's up. Now, Bun was out there with us.
Yeah.
Pimp was the one I wanted to talk to.
Exactly.
Then all of a sudden she come out mad. Fuck this. He called me a bitch. I'm that bitch. I said, well, shit, you gonna let us in there? She was like, hell yeah, y'all can go in there. So me and Bone Crusher walked. Just imagine this scene. There's 2 desks in this room with chairs behind it. Me and Bone Crusher walk into this room. Probably about 15, 20 dudes, realistically, standing all along the walls. We walked in the room. It didn't even make sense. Like, who these 2 motherfuckers? Me,
Terminators.
In the suit. You know how big Bone was. Yeah. Bone walked behind the desk and sit in the chair and lean back with his hands on his stomach. I sit on the desk. And I'm looking. I'm literally looking. The girl, the chick who let us in, she came back in. Now she's standing on the wall. And I'm looking. I go all the way around the room. Bone goes all the way around the room. Everybody looking at us. Like we having a real live Mexican stare out. Everybody's uncomfortable. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm about to do. I just know I need to talk to this nigga about what he said about my cousin.
Yeah.
I get up. I look at Bone. Bone like, don't see the nigga either. Right? So we get up. Bone get up. We walk back out the door. These niggas looking at us walk out. We walk out the door. Then the girl come out. We like, I said, man, I thought you said he was in there. She said, Ken, he was sitting there looking at you the whole time. He was staring at you. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, he was sitting down behind, like he was staring at you the whole time. And I'm not telling you I'm no tough guy. I'm not telling you I'm going to tell the club. But at that moment, when she said that, I wasn't even mad no more. Because I knew if he was sitting there staring at me, he know me. He know exactly who I am. He knew I was there. He knew it had happened. If he didn't, and at that, even if he wanted to, he could have said something, all them niggas would have been on our ass. Yeah. The fact that he didn't say anything, bring no type of awareness to the situation, let me know that night he was just tripping. Yeah. Because I was like, he really don't want to, that ain't what he want to do. Yeah. And not on no tough shit, just on some, he was just having a night. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that moment, I promise you, I let all that shit go. Man. That night. Like, because I just really felt, I said, he could have set the room off. Yeah. All he had to do was say, nigga, what's up? And all the niggas with him. Exactly. It's on. So me and Bone would have had to go for what we know. Yeah. It would have been a hell of a story. You know what I mean? It would have been a great story, but that let me know that he was just tripping that particular night. Yeah. And he didn't even mean what he said. And I was able to let that shit go.
Talk to me about this, though, Ken. Being there in the midst of that dungeon, seeing your cousin CeeLo go all the way up through there with Goody Mob, then go on to do his crazy stuff with his solo stuff. But then, if I'm correct, around what year did the Addict Crew really pop off?
Like 98.
So having to sit through that, what was that like, sitting through that, watching them do their thing, and then waiting for your time?
That never bothered me. I never thought about that.
Okay.
We were kicking ass. We knew where we were going.
Yeah.
I never thought about that's one thing I can honestly say with them, I was never competing with.
Okay.
Because I knew we held the same ground, but yet it was so different. So I knew we had a whole nother crowd we were going for, and a whole nother side of Atlanta that we were going for. So it never, at that point, they were like the uncles. Yeah. They were like uncle to us. You know what I mean?
Another question. With y'all boys growing up literally from the sandbox all the way up through that industry, what was it like when you remember that Joker as a snotty-nosed, ashy black guy, all of them, and then you looking up and all of y'all boys got money and are doing it on a level that, some folks will never obtain or even imagine?
But you got to remember, I told you who I was from the beginning.
Those are facts.
So the same guy I saw with the snotty nose, I saw him as the nigga he is now with all the money. So that's what I'm telling you. That's always been my ability to see that early on. Mm-hmm. Like, I've never been the guy to hate or be upset that somebody could do something that I can't.
But my thing, I think what I'm really trying to get at is the camaraderie and just, because I came up through here myself, but I kind of came up through here alone. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? I'm from the West Side. I went to Kai Heights, Southwest, and Mays High. But when it came to the music industry, a lot of my peers didn't choose to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. But it seems like all y'all came up together and was able to blow up together. And just, I could only imagine if I could look to the left and the right and see everybody I grew up with on.
Oh, yeah, that's great. And it's funny, man, you say that because I never even thought about that. I never looked at it like that. Everybody that made it, I honestly felt like we're supposed to make it. Uh-huh. So I was never surprised about none of it. Like, everybody who made it they were supposed to. And so, like, even to this day, of course, I look at them like. So it's only one guy that still amazes me to this day, and I think because we so much alike, that's the only reason I love being around him. And that's Tip.
Yeah.
And the reason we so cool is because we both so full of shit. You know what I mean? like we done bought into who we are so hard.
Nobody else even deal with you.
Man, that shit like a tennis match.
Yeah.
That shit like a real live Chinese ping pong match when we in the room.
Yeah.
And the reason I can appreciate, and this is another reason, the reason I can appreciate Tip so much is because he's so confident in T.I.
Yeah.
I'm so confident in Pretty Ken.
Yeah.
That we do not bother each other.
Come on now.
At all. We can coexist, and we understand Tip ain't got shit to do with Ken.
Yeah.
Ken ain't got shit to do with Tip.
That's right.
And we enjoy each other, and we laugh, and we can kick it, and it's not like that with everybody.
Now answer me this. Why is it not like that with everybody? And then just back to the egos of it all. I mean, how bad are the egos?
It's not ego, it's confidence.
Mm.
All right. So they tricked us, right?
Mm-hmm.
They tricked us. They made us believe that money was power. Money is not power. Power is influence, right? So they give you money to buy your power, which is influence.
Yeah.
So when they're giving you money because you have so many followers, the influence is the power.
Yeah.
So they're giving you money because the money ain't nothing.
Exactly.
When you don't have half the money or damn near none of the resources, but you have an influence that they'll never have, it's the shit's sticky. You know what I mean? It's sticky. And it's not, think about this. You know how many people had more money than Martin Luther King?
Everybody.
How many of them people could move people like Martin Luther King?
Now one of them.
That's all I'm saying. So so yeah, it was offensive to Jesse. It was offensive to different guys in that movement that Martin was able to move these type people with half of the things that they had.
Yeah.
And their whole concern was why people don't mess with me like they mess with this dude.
Answer me this though, Ken. How do you move when your confidence is so offensive to everybody? And is there a way that you can do anything without it being kamikaze?
You only offend people who do what you do.
Yeah.
You're only going to offend radio people.
Okay.
You're not going to offend a football player.
Okay.
You're not going to offend a soccer player. You're not going to offend a photographer.
Yeah.
You only offend people who are trying to hold the same position as you. That's it. So the world loves Pretty Ken.
Yeah.
If I go hang out with some doctors, they're going to love Pretty Ken.
Yeah.
Wherever I go, they're going to love Pretty Ken. Mm-hmm. When I hang out with people that are in the same business as I am, get a little different.
Mm.
Because once again, it's the confidence that they lack. Mm. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing. I promise you, nothing to do with me. And I can't do nothing about it. Mm. But all I can do is not need them.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. So I've never so I've turned down more money than most folk will ever see in their life because of the drug of my choice, which is the difficulty. Right.
Yeah.
So my rush comes from it being difficult.
Yeah.
He laughed because he done been in plenty of rooms with me. When I turned down the money, he like, nigga, what you doing? Look, get what this man, get what his saying about me is. He just said it not too long ago. That nigga say, boy, you a damn sure throw the baby out with the water. Everything out. Right? Yeah, so anyway, so I turned down a lot because the money is not what the money does nothing for me. Mm-hmm. It's a gift and a curse because we need it. Mm-hmm. I often need it. But it's a feeling that I chase. Mm-hmm. And it comes with being able to accomplish something that seemed impossible. Exactly. So if you want to pay me to do the norm, I'm not even gonna waste your time. Like, no matter what kind of money is on top of it. Because this is what I've always understood. You do one thing great, but you ain't never got to do nothing else in your life. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I figured I would spend my time trying to do something great.
Talk about your eye for talent, though, man. When you met a young T.I., because the one thing about Tip, when he came out, he was rapping like no other. And when folks heard him, it was like, okay, this is something new. He brought something new to the city that hadn't been seen before. And it kind of took the game to another level at the same time, too. So what was you thinking when you seen him that young coming in busting like that?
So when I met Tip, I didn't meet him rapping.
Yeah.
I met him he started coming around the studios and stuff. But I used to run with his cousin.
Yeah.
But when I met him, I was like, so what I tell people about stars is a star gonna be a star no matter what.
Yeah.
A star gonna be a star working at Waffle House.
Come on now.
Like, you can't teach it. You can't. It's just who they are.
It's up in there.
This dude, I'd never forget. He used to come in the studio, and this how extra he is about everything. This how extra T.I. he is. This how extra. I mean, he mean exactly who he is. Right? He ain't gonna do nothing regular.
Yeah.
Everything is gonna be over the top.
Yeah.
This is just who he is, and he mean every bit of it. And at this time, that boy was probably about 112 pounds coming through that. Man, that boy used to walk around. He used to come in the studio with a Desert Eagle. So big, that thing used to hold his pants down. And he would come in and he couldn't even get his hand around the handle. He couldn't even get his hand.
About it though.
Shot was so crazy, man. He come in here, sit this big ass gun on the table, and then just hit boom, and he didn't even pull it out for you to see it. His pants couldn't hold it. He couldn't hold it in his pants. So instead of pulling up his pants, he had to take the gun out. Yeah. Now he's like, "What you doing with that big ass gun, man?" Like. But I promise you, that day I say, but that boy here, he the man, he got it. And I think it was a couple of days later I heard him rap. And I was just like, woo. But now this is me. This is the guy you're talking to. When people call me and say, Ken, boy, I got somebody here to tell you, Ken, boy, I got something. Boy, you need to hear something. I got something you need to hear. I'm like, boy, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't care about no music. Bring the nigga over here. Mm-hmm. Let me see him. Mm-hmm. Let me just talk to him.
Yeah.
Let me see if he can survive in a room full of stars. Records are sold when they not playing.
Come on now.
So you can be an artist or you can be a song. When the song go off, you go off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not interested in songs. So when I saw him, I didn't even care about how good he could rap.
Uh-huh.
I just enjoyed how foolish he was.
Yeah.
And how he meant all the bullshit. And he was committed to all the bullshit. If he was dead ass wrong, he was 2 feet in.
Ooh.
Like, it didn't, and that's what I loved about him. And I knew that's something special. That's who he is.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna change.
Yeah.
And that's what you sell. So when I heard him rap, I was like, damn, he can rap like hell. But once again, I was more interested in that. And that's what I fell in love with him for. Like, boy, I love him. Like, and then everybody around the city started, listen, let me tell you something. Don't let not one of these old niggas listen to your partner.
Yeah.
Don't let one of these old niggas act like they didn't have a problem with Tip when he hit the scene. Do not, these old niggas were crying.
What?
I'm talking about nigga that done sold millions of records.
Ooh.
Were crying like some babies when this nigga was knocking off. Shawty came in doing his thing. And this wasn't no records out.
Come on now.
Wasn't nothing. All you heard, I've literally, nigga, listen. I've literally been in the studio and got a phone call saying, hey man, hit Tip. Man, what? What's wrong? Man, I know that nigga fucking with my girl. when you boy, I'm like, man, what are you talking about,
Come
man?
on now.
Hey, I used to love every bit of it. And I promise you, the day he called me and said, hey, Pretty, I think I'm going to call myself the king of the South. I said, run that shit. Look what the next question was. His next question, very next question. What you think everybody going to say? What you think your folk going to say? Man, fuck the vote. And he read it. Hey, man, I love stars, man. I don't give a damn what it is.
Another star, though, man.
Who?
Andre.
So listen.
Rex.
So listen, let me tell you, this where everything in Atlanta finna go crazy. This where everybody finna fall out with PK. This is where the line gets drawn in the sand.
Come on now.
This is what Facebook and Instagram and everybody goes crazy. Pretty Ken be tripping. Other half gonna be like, damn, he might be on the song. So there's two things that look identical. You have a star and you have exceptional talent. Mm-hmm. Exceptional talent is appreciated when they're doing what they're known for doing. Mm-hmm. Stars is just who they are, is what you appreciate. Andre 3000 is exceptional talent. If he's not rapping, just think about this. Anytime anybody talks about Andre 3000, what are they talking about? He can rap.
Yeah.
When people talk about Tip, what do they talk about?
Whatever he got going on.
It ain't never the music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It ain't never the music. There's nothing, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just being honest. So 3000 is exceptional talent. A star is, if you strip everything from a star, he should be able to hold that same attention with none of the shit. If not, it's the talent. Fair?
Well, no. My question is then, talk to me about the exceptional talent.
So
and how that impacts the game then.
So you have a guy that his talent is very exceptional, right?
Yeah.
Dre 3000. He gonna rap anybody under the table. Now, Dre went to Hollywood. Which now in Hollywood you can't sell rapping. You got to sell you. You got to sell personality. You got to sell you. didn't really work out. You'll never get never. February 13th, 2020. You will never get Andre 3000 solo album. Ooh. So here's the thing about the light. Everybody want the light, but when that light come on, that light shows everything. You can't make the light show what you wanted to see. Dre's never had the light by himself without performing or doing what he does, what he's exceptional at. He's never had that light on him to show what he doesn't have. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So Big Boy has always been the star in that group, the personality.
I feel that. I see where you're going with that.
So that's why I say, like, Dre is great. Big is great. Outkast is the shit.
You can't put it no better than that. You can't put it no better than that. I agree.
Like, it's just like, it's no way around it. So it's just like the two with both of them brought together is what made it great.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because the pieces that Dre didn't have, Big had. What they felt Big didn't have, Dre had. So it worked.
And with that being said, it was something for everybody in both of them.
It was a beautiful.
My God.
It was a beautiful mix. You know really what I mean?
Was.
And that's not. Listen, I'm not saying anything bad about Dre. I love Dre. We're just talking from the marketing side, the business side.
But then also, with that being said, what about when Dre was running circles around people, though, man?
What does that mean?
When it got to the point when you look at some of the stuff that he said, it was very forward thinking. A lot of that stuff, just with them bars and them verses, man. I mean, some of the stuff that Dre put down, I think it was so transparent that you could feel it. You could just feel it. The common man could feel what he was saying on that level.
Yeah. So, Dre's the best. So, perfect.
And then I got to go into Big, too, because I get pissed when they don't quote Big as well. But I'm with Dre right now.
So here's my issue with the best rapper and all these type of lists, right? Ooh. It's because music is about a feeling, which people get different feelings from different people. And people are moved in different ways by different people. Nas does not move me.
Hey.
I'm not telling you Nas is trash. I'm just telling you
that ain't your cup of tea.
That ain't my thing. Scarface moves me like nothing else. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not going to be in a lot of people's conversation. So artists, and when it comes to the best artists and what works for you is like going to church to see a preacher.
Yeah.
You're going to have, depends on what moves you and the way you need it and the way you need to receive it. You're going to have a preacher who does all the hooping and holler, which deals with a lot of feeling. You got Tupac. You know what I mean? You're going to have a preacher who deals with more of the lesson and the teachings of the Bible, which is more of a teaching angle and delivery. That is for that person. Me, personally, because of who I am, I can't get the dealing without the feeling.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? That's just who I am.
Yeah.
I need you to get my attention. I need you to make me feel something to even deal with you. That's just who I am.
I feel
so that don't work for me. Yeah. This guy over here. So what I'm saying is like, Dre has a way of making people feel him through music, which is a great thing. If Dre sat here and talked to you, you will fall asleep. But that's his gift. His gift is to deliver through music.
Exactly.
So it still works, but that's just what it is. You got some people who can talk that shit, don't need no music.
Yeah.
And you got people who do it through other ways. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's his gift. His gift is music. So have you ever heard a rapper or somebody or entertainer try to have a deep conversation and you like, nigga, if you don't sing something.
Exactly. Yeah. Start singing, fool. Yeah.
It's being able to deliver something in words, in speaking and talking, is a totally different gift than being able to deliver something through music and rapping. It's two totally different things. You have people who can hold your attention through conversation, and you got people who use their talents to hold your attention, which is through music or whatever. So it's all needed, and it's all necessary, but understand that it's still a difference, if that makes any sense.
I'm with you. Now, my next question is, why do you feel like folks always try to shade Big Boy and his bars like he wasn't in there bringing shit? Because that man got a lot of quotables in there. One of my favorites that I live by is fuck that country shit. We done a bunch of shit. And yes, you heard of this. Talk to me.
I think everybody brings something special to the party. And once again, we're talking about Outkast. So even with the crazy outfits and the fashion that Dre chose to bring to the group, Big had a certain type of relatable type of thing for people that he brought to the group. That was very necessary, because you got to think about it. I'll never forget the first day Dre walked in with the turban on his head, and it shit got weird. Like, everybody really felt like, well, what the hell going on? Like, boy, he finna blow it, right? Which, that was a real feeling. Wasn't nothing wrong with that. He had a vision, but that vision wouldn't even make sense if Big didn't hold his side.
Yeah.
So I've never looked at it like, yeah, you can get caught up in the lyrics. Yes. Dre is exceptional at rapping. Yes. Big is great at rapping. Big has something that Dre does not have, which holds the group together. Dre has something that Big does not have that holds the group together. When it comes to the rap and the verses, it comes down to what you like better. You know what I mean? And who you like better. Me personally, of course I feel like Dre was a hell of a rapper. And he is a hell of a rapper. But because of who I am also, and how much I love personality and charisma and energy and all this, I'm crazy about Big.
Yeah.
I can't have Dre without Big. Yeah. It don't work for me.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's real.
Because when the music stops, then what happens?
Yeah.
So it for me, and I think a lot of times what we do is, and I just said this today, a lot of times we get so caught up in what we know we can be and should be that we miss what we actually have done and what we do and what we bring. And that's always been my issue, is that I've never in my life been able to enjoy the moment.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? Because I'm always ready for the next thing.
Yeah.
And
and I hate to cut you off, but does it seem like nothing's ever enough? It's like, I did that, but it don't make you feel like it's supposed, like you thought it would make you feel. So it's like, let me do the most again to try to do something else that I thought I couldn't do.
So what I've realized, and this is just with myself, and this is recently, I'm so scared of failure that I don't stay long enough to see if it's going to fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I have a vision in my head of everything I step foot in. And at that moment, when it doesn't look like my vision, I'm out.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's failure. But it can be winning.
Yeah.
But in my vision, it looked like this. And it don't look like that. So, and everybody can be yelling, boy, this is it. No, player, that ain't it. That ain't it. I promise you, that ain't it.
Yeah.
Right? So, and to be honest with you, this is where addictions come from. Because our addiction is the difficulty in tasks, in building and doing something big. And when we're not able to do that, we're no good, right? So what happens is, like me, I got addicted to porn, right? Yeah. I always thought that shit was crazy. I was like, who the fuck is addicted to porn? And boy, I was watching porn every motherfucking day, right? And then I had to figure out, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Because I sit there, goddamn, bang, all bam, and then feel like a dumbass and be mad as hell. Like, nigga, what you doing? But it's releasing dopamine. Yeah. Just like cocaine, just like a drug. My drug is accomplishments, right? My high comes from that. Mm-hmm. If I can't accomplish nothing, if I'm not doing or moving nothing, I'm not releasing the dopamine.
Yeah.
So the porn addiction was the satisfaction of accomplishment.
I'm waiting.
Yeah. Yeah. But at that minute, right? So that's when I realized, I'm like, damn, this shit ain't got nothing to do with porn.
Yeah.
The addiction is releasing the dopamine.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do no drugs. But my addiction and my release comes from accomplishments.
Yeah.
Come from doing things that can't be done or they say can't be done. So what happens now is yeah. Yeah. Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
It
is real though.
I feel you.
Right. So now guess what it does? It puts you in a lonely place because nobody sees what you see. Right? You can't take small bites out the elephant. You want to swallow that motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's not real. Right?
Yeah.
But for who we are, once we see it, we got to be it.
Come on now.
So we don't see the pieces being put together on the Voltron.
Yeah.
We just see Voltron.
No, them the facts.
You feel me?
Them the facts.
So now we try to skip all the middle to get exact. Why you think people like us, we're either 0 or we're 100?
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's wrong. And what happens is, like, I just had to figure out recently that I've been depressed for about 10 years. And I didn't understand what the hell was going on with me. How in the fuck can a nigga like me be depressed?
For 10 years.
I'm the man.
Yeah.
This shit don't happen to no champ. And I had to sit down one day and be like, nigga, you are depressed. I go into Google and I start reading up and looking at the symptoms and the shit. And I was like, nigga, you got every one of these motherfuckers. Right? And so then I had to start dealing with it. I'm like, okay, if that's the case, where's this shit coming from? And I realized I put such a high expectation on myself that is damn near unreal to deliver. It's not even real. When I say it's not real, in the time frame that I wanted to happen, is not real. So the goal, when I see this is what I do. This crazy shit I used to do. I say, boy, 2 months, I'm finna go knock off 25 pounds, right? If 2 months come, my date come, and I done lost 23 pounds, I feel like I failed.
Damn.
And I gained all the weight back, and I just say, fuck it. But I never paid attention to, nigga, you did 23 pounds, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That don't even mean nothing to me.
Well, see,
You know
my
what I mean?
thing that I wanted to say was when it comes to those crazy, ambitious goals, how can you feel like any goal is crazy and ambitious when you coming from the west side of town and you create the Addict Crew and you go on to sell millions of records? That's not easy to. That's unbelievable.
So that's not the that's not the ambitious part. The unreal part is not understanding that there's actually steps. There's actual steps that go to this process.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want to hit him with the genie.
Yeah. So it's like, no, nigga, we can do it like this.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Yeah.
But this has to happen first. No, man, that's how suckers do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what I mean by like, hey, boy, I'm gonna lose 20% body fat in 15 days. How? But so I set this unrealistic goals, and when I don't make them, I get depressed. When the shit wasn't, it was unattainable, Ken.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good enough for me
Yeah.
to do a regular goal. They doing 10 pounds and 10. Man, that's for suckers.
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm doing 20.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel that.
and that was to push me. So when I used to come in the room talking crazy and say, boy, y'all ain't shit. Boy, I'm gonna tear this shit up. Boy, you be with me. Nigga, this shit ain't nobody here good at me. Y'all boys some sucker. Boy, I'm gonna smash this shit. It ain't had nothing to do with nobody in the room.
Yeah.
I was putting myself in a position to have to deliver. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't even them. It was like, okay, I need some motivation. I need something to make me do this. And if I go in here and talk shit, I got to stand up to my shit. You know what I mean?
Yes, though, Ken. What was your reality inside of the music industry versus the average person's reality? Because, see, the reality that you had was that you was going to do it your way and you didn't give a damn.
Absolutely.
Most people's reality is, I'm doing what these folks tell me to do on a regular basis. I don't care if I hate it or I love it. I'm doing what they tell me to do. So can you talk about your reality versus the regular reality of somebody else in the industry?
So I tell people all the time, having success and making an impact is two totally different things. You see what I'm saying? You can have all the success in the world and nobody cares. And you can have a little of it and everybody cares. You know what I mean? And they're two totally different paths.
Yeah.
Two totally different processes. I've always felt like we could have our own. We don't need nobody to do what we want to do. Nobody has ever taught me that. I've just always felt that way, which is a harder way to go if you don't have the people that it takes to make that come alive. Because it still ain't about me. I still got to get people that feel the same way or believe in me that much to just ride it out. That's the hard part. I've never felt any type of way about a guy who says, hey man, I'm just gonna get these folks this. I'm just gonna do what these folks say so I can make me some money. That's your way.
Yeah.
I never look at you crazy. I ain't got nothing bad to say about you. Everybody has a different way in here. Years ago, when I was probably like first starting music, my old school partner told me, you gonna get it last.
Damn.
That's what he told me. He said, you gonna get it bigger than everybody you know, but you gonna get it last. You're gonna be the last one out of this crew, out of this group to get it. And I used to think he was hating like a mug. But what he said was, because you see something else. And you want something else out of it. And the problem is, this is exactly what he said. He was like, the problem is, what God has given you, well, it's going to take you years to even figure out how to use it.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
So I promise y'all, no hating ass old nigga. You old nigga always hate. But he was absolutely correct. And it's been 26 years. And I'm just hitting my sweet spot. I'm just figuring out me. Yeah. I'm just figuring out why I feel the way I feel, why I think the way I think, why I see the things I see. Like, I dropped out of school, man. Let me tell you something. I dropped out of school because school made me feel stupid.
What?
Because the teachers couldn't help me understand why I received the information the way that I did.
Yeah.
Which was totally different. I got the same information, but I just received it totally different. Mm-hmm. And I understood it different. And I had questions, and I just had different perspectives, different understandings of the same exact information.
Yeah.
Nobody could help me understand why I thought like that, which drove me crazy, and I felt stupid.
Yeah.
Where I just stopped. I said, well, forget it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's why I dropped out of school. And plus, they wouldn't teach me how to get no money. Yeah. You know what I mean? But just in these last years, I'm figuring out how to use my superpower. So, like, I've been flying into the walls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My superpower's just been everywhere. Yeah. I just ain't had no control over. But I'm just getting to the place where I understand, like, oh, this is why you gave me this. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to do with this. Gotcha. I never sat still long enough to even figure that out. Or to even realize that I was using it wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it took me years to get into a place where I had to figure it out. And I'm just getting to a great space. Of course, I want, and I have to have everything big. Nothing small is going to satisfy me. I have to start something from the ground up. That's the only thing that excites me. And don't take this the wrong way, please. But I've never, ever been a Kevin Durant type of guy where I'm going to get down with the champs. I have to beat you. I'm not going to be able to sleep until I beat you. Now, after I beat you, I'll come get down with you.
Exactly.
But I got to compete. This is just who I am.
I feel. And you sit over there by yourself until the time.
Listen, man. If I had a choice to be drafted to the winning team or the team with the terrible record, I'm going to the terrible record team every time. Because I want to fight that fight. I want to build that with them.
That's real accomplishment, though. That's real accomplishment.
This is just who I am.
When you go to the underdog and you win over there, that's a real accomplishment. It's easy to win with a whole bunch of winners.
So I've literally had people that call me, pretty man, just come on over here with me, man, work with me. No, so
yeah,
man, why you be tripping, man? I'm like, so I gotta beat you.
Yeah,
man, you always I gotta beat you. Yeah, I got to compete with. Like, I ain't gonna be no good. Like, I ain't gonna be no good if I don't see.
Yeah,
if I don't know if I can beat you.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna be no good. And I'm not telling you this right or wrong. I'm just saying this is who I am.
That's your spirit.
Yeah, that's me. So that is what drives me and gets me going. So it's just like I've always known I got to do it from the ground up with the way I want to do it, because there's no rules. There's no way. You create the way. You create the system that works for you. The only thing I've ever lacked was understanding what I was doing and the people that I could actually do it with. So that's why I told you earlier, you didn't have the wrong plan. You were just doing it with the wrong people.
Yeah.
And wrong people not meaning that they're not good enough. They're just not the people for your plan. They're going to be great. They're going to go on to do whatever they're supposed to do. That has nothing to do with them. It's just certain people work for certain things. And I never realized what, and I used to hear it all the time, but I never realized what like minds meant until I got older. I'm like, oh, that's what they talking about. Like-minded people, like niggas who think alike.
Exactly.
Right. I always missed it.
Yeah.
And it took me to get of this age to be like, damn, that's what they meant. So I've been fighting with niggas the whole time.
Because you went with no like-minded niggas?
And there was nothing wrong with their minds.
Yeah.
But it was just
One like yours.
That's it. And I think I've gotten to a place of understanding and acceptance. I understand that everything is not for everybody, and some people want certain things. And I've accepted the fact that I'm not for everybody. And what I want is definitely not for everybody. And I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? And I don't have to force what I want or what I believe onto anybody anymore. Because once you become comfortable with who you are and what you're doing, you no longer feel like you have to sell it to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that I'm cool and understand Pretty Ken and who he is and what he is, I ain't got to stand on my soapbox yelling all day. You know what I mean? So now we just move and groove. So that's why I did the show. That's why I'm continuing to do the show. I got the second season coming out that I'm starting to shoot next week.
Yeah.
And the reason I did the show because I wanted to create a platform where we bring back the art of conversation.
That's right.
And stop having debates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like conversation is just sharing information and different perspectives. So you might learn some if you listen. Even when I did the one with the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
Man, we didn't sit there arguing and I'm saying, hey, man, I ain't with that. We ain't do none of that. We sat there and talked and kicked it. And they kicked it with me and we had real conversation and they said some things I was just like, damn, I ain't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, man, everybody has a story. And this one thing, this is something that changed my mind about dealing with people. It was this gay chick. She was the stud or whatever. And I asked her, I was like, hey, man, why y'all got to look so rough? I was like, man, men don't even look like that. Like, why y'all got to look so dusty and so crazy and hard all the time? And she looked at me and she said, well, I was molested by my uncles when I was young, so I go out my way to be unattractive to men. And I'm sitting there like, I felt like an asshole.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, nigga, it's so much.
Deeper than rap. Yeah. It was deeper than rap.
That moment made me look at people different.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, you can't be out here judging nobody or tripping. Or why he like this? Oh, man, it was just, it's too much.
Exactly.
It's like, nigga, I'm still trying to figure me out. Out here talking about somebody else. Shit, I ain't got to handle on my skeletons. You know what I mean?
You.
So it's just like, it's learning, man, and I'm having the best time ever because I finally let go and stop trying to direct traffic and just go where it take me.
Exactly.
In my life. You know what I mean? But when I was trying to control, I run that mug into the wall.
Yeah, now I feel that. But Ken, man.
What's up, champ?
On that note, boss.
Come on, boy.
Thank you so much for coming through this
come
thing,
on,
man.
I
Wish you
appreciate
nothing but
you
the
having
best
me.
and
Come
much
on.
success.
Come on, I got to get you on the PK show,
Oh,
man.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
Yes, sir.
Be High Radio Shout. It's Hot 107.9, man. Let's go.
Radio Shout.